Hey everyone, and welcome back to Easy to Spell, where the name's easy to spell and we messed it up anyway. Quick round of introductions. I'm Andrew, your dungeon master.
I'm David. I play Kaya Bauer. And one thing I do want to tell you guys is make sure you go to our socials on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the fun stuff. Go there, give us a like, give us a comment, give us a follow. And if you're here, please give us a follow on Twitch and YouTube.
Thanks, David. And I'm Mike, and I play Raven Corellius.
I'm Rachel. I play Valala Valkyrie, and I also want to give a shout out to our merch. The link will be on our YouTubes, and I don't know where the links are. The tech dude above me takes care of that. So follow our links, get our merch. We've got stickers, cups, hoodies, shirts, fun, cool things.
Yes, do that. And I'm Will, and I play Orelton Denthere.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Couple quick shout outs. As always, Syrinscape, because Epic Games need epic sound. We use them for a lot of our sound effects, background noise. Tonight, a little bit of a change. We're trying out, we're sharing audio via Norse Foundry. They have a ton of royalty free music, things like that available for your own streams or home campaigns. Not sound effects, just background music. They've got a bunch of different albums. Absolutely check them out. And then final shout out to our friends over at Rep RPG. They're also here on Twitch. They supported us a ton. I just like giving them a shout out. They are just pretty great. And I think unless anybody else has any announcements, anything else, we can dive back into the world of Selamir, where over the last few months you all have been adventuring in the Fey Wild or the Fey Forest of Aratas, the newly discovered continent. Y'all have gone through some shit, to be real. But kind of as the resolution, finally combating the Tao, kind of coming to an agreement, or none of you have really found closure with any of your own personal backstories, but Vala is specifically making a deal with some of her sisters. We come to on the morning that you are setting off. You've decided to journey north, tracking down the uncle of our own Raven Corellius, who has not absconded, but several years ago left with what is known to you as the Shard of Change. No idea where he went, only an idea, only a direction. Is as you all are leaving the settlement of Aldenstead, its stone walls, a fortress in the forest, come to on a cool fall morning as the season begins to change. You take your first steps again into the unknown.
So, Vala,
I
how much
want to
time do you
sing
think?
so bad. Sorry. Go on.
How much time do you think you've spared us?
A few months at most. It could be as short as a few weeks.
Well, it's better than nothing. Better than what we were working with.
True. I think that the sooner that we can get out there and find your uncle, the better.
I agree.
Finding an elf on a continent's worse than finding a needle in a haystack, though. Might want to get started.
Yeah, that needle doesn't move. Well, should we head for the river?
You're the one that's
Sounds-
used to navigating the woods. I'll follow you.
All right.
Do we really? Yeah. Okay. Let's go.
You got
Aye.
a hesitation there?
You know. No. Let's go to do my favorite thing. Let's go trek through muck and wilderness and all of my favorite things. Let's go before I change my mind.
You've
I know
made it
you
this far.
stocked up. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Following Raven, the river runs right near the settlement of Aldenstead, so it's easy enough to find. there is a short bridge kind of built at a crossing. There's a large fork in the river that Alden said is kind of built into. Small bridge allowing you to cross. Do you want to traverse north on the east or west side of the river? Doesn't really a lot of matter. I just
East.
don't want to make that the east side of the river.
The
Gotcha. which
west
is-
side.
Okay. So you crossing the river, begin to set north. Knowing from maps, it's the area north of you is probably the most unexplored region. As anybody who's kind of tried to get near to the mountains, it becomes increasingly more dangerous. Less Fey control. The father, I think, himself warned you that the farther north you go, even in the forest, the farther outside of his grasp you'll be, or his dominion. You know, it'll be about 2 weeks to reach the mountains and the supposed pass that exists at the mouth of the river.
And the river is flowing against us, correct?
Yes, it is flowing against you, out towards the sea.
Getting home easy.
I'm going to say, Raven, give me a survival check as you set out for the first leg of your journey.
That would be a 19. And this isn't in, or is it forest? Because I guess never mind. That doesn't matter.
It is still forest. I know the old map that I gave you guys is a little outdated. This is still, you're still working off of the map that Corin had given you, which is just mapped out to his knowledge. You are continuing in forest. The first portion of your day is uneventful. Again, you're able to map around some of the animal tracks or the animal runs where wolves would hunt, things like that. As we get into the next half of the day, I'm just going to pay no heed to the man behind the curtain. Okay. You know, the clouds kind of darken a little bit. Not to the point you think there's going to be a major storm, but you might get a little bit of a drizzle on you. See, through the first day goes by without event. There's nothing real. You make camp. You think that you're probably still reasonably within the domain of the father. For the second day, give me another survival check.
And just to remind myself, we were leaving from Aldenstead, right?
Yeah, so you are leaving from the farthest northern settlement, which probably cut about 2 weeks off of your trip. If you had left from Harlan's Landing, it would have been a little over a month just to make it to the mouth of the river.
That would be a 15.
15. Perfect. And the second day as well mostly goes to that event. There is a point where the forest begins to kind of thin, opening into grasslands. Probably about halfway through the second day. There are still pockets of trees. It just becomes a much thinner forest as the hills kind of begin to roll in.
Can I keep an eye out for any sort of trails or I guess man-made looking trails rather than animal tracks, or just something that looks a little bit more matted down? I guess not from animals.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check for the second day. Or what's your passive perception? I can also
My
keep this
passive-
in mind for
Passive perception is 16.
16. Okay, and what is your active perception for today?
That would be a 25.
25. Perfect. And just checking chat. Do you still hear TV coming behind me?
Nope, you're good.
Okay, that's it. It was the TV behind me. I just wanted to make sure that stopped. And just double checking my notes really quick. Second day also goes by without event. Day 3. Give me another survival check. This one is going to be considered grassland.
Okay. And I haven't seen
So-
anything yet.
Nothing yet, no.
Okay.
As it's going, hey, Vala, did you ever say anything to those at Harlan's Landing about us just not coming back?
That's a good question. I did not. However, I did send the blacksmith and what was our
Rutherford.
friend's name? And Rutherford
Uh,
back.
and
Brayden.
and the guard, yeah.
I think it was Brayden.
I did send them back, so they should be returning within the week. They're probably only a few days out.
And Ladrillai also, sorry for you guys, Ladrillai had also mentioned that she would be in contact with them to kind of let them know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I throw in occasionally helpful NPCs.
Thanks.
I just want you guys to know that I know we've been in forest this whole time, but outside of that, I'm not as familiar with the area. I grew up in the forest. So keep your eyes out a little bit more. I'm not as well versed in this area.
Well, better than the rest of us, but I'll go try.
And with that, I rolled a 9.
Roll the 9.
Yeah, for survival.
Okay.
Just a little side note, while we're traveling, Vala is like taking notes of the different plants and stuff that we come across. Learning
give me
things.
give me a nature check. Well,
I was going to say, Kai is keeping an eye out for anything
for
to be able to use in
me?
a brew.
you can also give me a nature check.
Right, that's gonna be a 17.
17. Okay. Nothing particularly special. Normal herbs and everything that you can use to start. If you don't have a healing kit already, you can kind of begin the process of putting one together. Something to tend wounds. Other than that, nothing really noteworthy. Kaya, how about for you? What did you get on your
12. Not
12?
bad.
Yeah, again, nothing too great. A couple like dandelion root, things like that you can kind of collect to use to make basic wines and drinks, anything like that.
And
Check in.
just want to double check, is my Tressum still following us throughout this? Have I noticed that he sticks close with us throughout this, or
There was kind of a period of time where you had not actively giving him treats, and then teleporting around specifically. You haven't seen him.
Okay.
That's, unfortunately.
Poor kitty
the
buddy.
tail.
On the third day of your journeys, with a 9 with your active, you find about halfway through the day. Today, the rain has started to come down a little bit, a light drizzle. A bunch of hardy adventurers have no problem dealing with it. There is an animal path that you come to that immediately, kind of assuming it's an animal path, but looking down it and keeping an eye out as you have been, you actually see there are bits of cobblestone in places. Kind of looking further at it, you realize it actually looks like it may have used to been an actual road that kind of it diverts away from the river somewhat. Vala, you with your incredible passive perception, you actually see in the water pieces of stone, and the far side actually has like a large flat slab where it's very clear there used to be a bridge here.
We're way out of civilized area, aren't we?
Yeah, this is
You've been
Interesting.
Yes, we already knew that this continent had been covered at one point. In order for that that statue in the crypt to have been made, that would have been hundreds of years ago. I'd imagine if they were on the coast, they could make their way clear over here.
Yeah, I guess I just assumed that nobody had made it up this far. Seems like something we should probably look at, right?
I was gonna say we might want to travel along. I know that if I was looking for shelter or anything along those lines, this would be a sign of something up ahead.
And if there's something that draws your uncle here that's related to whoever was here before, since that statue looks so much like you, I'd imagine he'd be trying to find that an ancient city, maybe? An ancient location? I think following this would be a good idea.
I agree. Kaya? No, you want to get back to civilization?
Well, it depends. What civilization are we going to? But, it's, even more fun than being out in the wilderness. Being out in the wilderness, wet, soggy. Yeah.
No more umbrella trick?
Nothing but high hopes here. It's kind of tiring to keep that up all the time. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm talking about my hand, not necessarily just having my hand like this the whole time is, man, starts to hurt my arm.
Fair. You should shoot more bows. You get a little more strength.
I'll leave that to you.
I'll take that as a yes on the cobblestone road here.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So you are following the cobblestone road?
Yeah.
And this is day 3, so we aren't anywhere near the pass.
No.
Correct. Yeah, that's you still. So a little over a week and a half left.
As we step off in that direction to follow that cobblestone, I'd like to expend a spell slot and where'd it go? Where is it? Use my primeval awareness. And if we're still in forest, it would be up to 6 miles of any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead.
What is it without for? You're in very thin, more grass.
If it's without forest, then it would be 1 mile. It's just my favorite
we're
terrain is 6 miles. So.
We're splitting the difference. Forests don't just end normally without like a river, some sort of embankment. So we'll split the difference and say 3. And it's celestials, elementals, dragons,
fae, fiends, aberrations, and undead. It doesn't tell me where.
You sense both dragons and aberrations.
Okay.
Doesn't give you a distance on that, does it?
No, it doesn't tell me anything about their location.
I'll note you had also felt dragon before. Last time you used this, I believe, on your way to encounter the Tao.
Yeah. Well,
pretty sure you're gonna always feel dragon.
yeah, I figured that one out now, but we might be dealing with some aberrations. I don't know what those are. Myself, Raven might. I would assume so.
Yeah,
but...
Raven's a good idea. Aberrations are like generally like creatures of an arcane or like eldritch origin. Okay. Yeah, mind flayers, things like that are aberrations.
Okay.
Oh yeah, just casually bring up mind flayers. Yeah,
it's
okay.
the most commonly known aberration.
Just like you commonly just, we're casually just pick up, you guys are fighting a kraken.
It's your fault for not believing me.
But I'll just mention that to the group and continue on.
Okay, good. We have a thing for this. Maybe. Let's keep going.
Okay. Down the cobblestone path, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Continue down the path, and you follow it for a few miles. It's still kind of going northeastern kind of direction. As you get kind of farther, the forest breaks apart even more. The trees are becoming less and less. You're now fully in grassland. You crest a hill, and the road is also becoming a little bit more coherent, like less broken pieces as you break through the forest. Cresting a hill, you see pillars like on each side of the road. And then a little bit farther, kind of going down the hill and up the next one, a couple like what look like old brick foundations that are fully decrepit. They're just a couple pieces of brick on the ground, just making a loose square outline. The rain's coming down just a little bit harder.
Can I deduce how long it might have taken for these homes to have deteriorated to this rate in normal conditions without, I don't know, war or something happening?
Yeah. Make me a history check with advantage because or a nature check with advantage because you are an anthropologist, correct?
Yeah.
Is your background?
Yeah.
So either nature or history. Give me that with advantage.
Go nature.
Okay.
And that's going to be a 16.
16. The old growth on these, like you can't really dial in an exact date without really taking some time to kind of rummage through. It's been at several hundred years. Like these are very bare remaining pieces of what you surmise are probably like old farms houses with where they're at.
Looking through their midden heaps.
Whatever that means.
It's just trash piles. It's the fancy anthropologist word for trash.
Yeah, I'm not a fancy anthropologist. So yes, they're midden heaps. As you continue, probably another mile or so, about mid-afternoon, like 3 or 4 o'clock in layman's terms, the squares become both more frequent, and you start seeing some more like well-built remaining structures, half broken, like an actual standing wall. The hills kind of level out a little bit, and you can see as what seems to be an old city. Some kind of overgrown, some more trees kind of growing in, being reclaimed by nature. At the center, probably maybe a quarter of a mile from where you are now, a couple still fully intact buildings, the largest one seeming to be an old church.
Well, I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah, especially so close to Aldenstead. Figured we get a couple weeks, couple months out before we find anything fun.
Should we check it out?
Do we want somebody to
Kinda hard
sneak
not to at
over
this
there first? Just in case, and we did say that we may have felt some aberrations, and this feels like a place where we might experience those.
All right, that's my cue.
And before you leave, I'm gonna like pat you on the back and cast guidance, so you have a 1d4 added to the number of your roll for your ability check of your choice. And you can roll the die before or after making the ability check.
Okay. So I guess I'll stealth over and just kind of keep an eye out for anybody, anything. Just try to get close to the church and see if I can maybe see inside.
As you get closer to the church, before you make it, you start noticing like furrows in the ground. Again, still just based on your passive perception. Claw marks, deep gouging slashes where the grass on like the grass and plants on either side have like wilted and decayed. And as you get closer to the church, they become more common, almost like tracks where something has come to and from the church.
And okay, and those are definitely recent as it's decay.
Hmm.
Do I need to roll a stealth?
Yes. If you'd
Okay.
like to, you don't have to.
I mean, if you're gonna let me go in there stealthy anyway, then I'm not gonna roll. But
If you don't say you're stealthing, then you're just walking in.
okay, no, I'm definitely stealthing.
The plus a d4 if you need
Yep.
it.
I mean, I don't really, but I mean, a dirty 20.
Okay. And then are the rest of you kind of following this from a distance? Or are you staying like a quarter mile out and letting him go in and come back out to you?
Probably do the latter, right?
Quarter
You
mile
said
is like
have some,
feet. I think we should stealth up to about 150 feet. That sounds like a good distance.
Okay.
okay.
I am
All
HO.
right. I'll need stealth checks from all of you. If you have disadvantage from like armor or anything, ignore your disadvantage just because you aren't directly. It's just roll normally.
Cool. Thanks. That's good.
I feel like there's a difference between trying to sneak up on somebody and sneak across a vast space.
Still had an 11 though, so
10.
Okay.
Mind you, I had advantage and I rolled a 6.
Okay.
we're great at this.
Ooh.
All right.
We're so stealthy, guys.
Raven, first you hear, like you can know they're kind of following you, and as you go, you're probably about halfway between the party and the church. Once they're at the 150 feet, and you hear kind of a crack and a crumble as Kaya like drops into cover behind one of the remaining low stone walls, leans against it, and then just kind of falls through it. Stones fall around him and just a loud crumble. All of you just kind of freeze.
Say I immediately try to find the nearest cover that I can hide behind and make sure that my position has not been compromised.
I'm just
Okay.
laying in the brick, not moving.
Raven, make a perception check.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's an 11 with advantage. One other thing I do want to mention, if it's within 30 feet of me, I can't be surprised.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'm not going to surprise you. You listen. You listen a little bit more. And you feel almost like you're listening really hard, so you can you can't really tell if it's just you're hearing it because you're listening for it and think your brain mind is playing tricks on you. But then no, you hear it. There's kind of a low rumbling, almost a purr that just kind of is resonating from the church. It's super low. Like you're far enough away that if you weren't really listening, you probably wouldn't have been able to hear it. Not sure what it was, but just this deep. You can almost feel it more than you hear it.
I'm gonna look back at the group and put my hands up, like, what are you doing? Like telling them to shut up.
And then I try to get up.
We're gonna mark one failure on this. David, go ahead and re-roll your stealth. Not with advantage this time, just
16.
first roll. 16. Okay.
How far away are we
You all are 150 feet.
right now? Okay.
Raven
you-
is about 75 feet.
Okay.
I'm gonna gesture back to the group to hold where they're at.
Gonna slip behind the edge of a wall, not touch it.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and continue closer to the church.
Okay.
Stealthily. Again.
As you get closer, that deep thrum is almost rhythmic. You can, as this like resonant bass that you can kind of almost feel in your chest, and it kind of grows and then fades, and then grows and then fades. Getting closer to the church, you notice almost immediately, like, it's a little dark out than it would be at this time of day, just with the rain and the cloud cover. You're within the shadow of the church, and you notice there's the shadow where it's kind of dim in front of the church with the sun not catching where you're at, and then there's darkness inside the door, and almost like wisps of smoke. The darkness is just emanating like a visible pattern. You can still kind of see into the church a little bit, especially with your dark vision. But it's oppressive. It's
Feels like it's pulsing almost. Okay.
The deep sound was rhythmic, almost like breathing. The door itself, it's a large double door leading into this large stone cut church. Like, this is very well built. That's why it was standing for so long. And still, even though with the double doors, it's kind of been scraped and carved on each side to make it just a little bit bigger. You see the claw marks going up the stone steps, like it's scratched into the surface.
Can I look around and just see if there's any sort of, like, you said claw marks around, see if I can find any massive, like, footprints. In particular, I'm looking for dragon, as they are a favorite enemy of mine. That is what I am particularly looking for.
Okay. Make a survival check for tracking it. I think you make this at advantage.
Yep. Jesus Christ, come on. Oh, and then I get a D4, right? That is a 16.
16. You do see more tracks, and this is now getting a better look at the more freshly formed tracks leading in and out, especially in the mud from the rain. This is absolutely some form of dragon. You also see kind of around the church, like a little ways out, pieces of bone, different animals, things like that. There's a helmet in a pile of poo, which a helmet you've actually seen recently. It's of Nalburindian origin. Matches the helms that some of their scouts were wearing.
Okay. Getting that information and knowing that this is definitely something I don't want to mess with alone, I'm going to go ahead and try to sneak back to where I last saw my group, to relay that information.
Do we want to fuck with the dragon?
I mean, he could be your next of kin.
Well, there's a good reason not to. Also, it's a fucking dragon.
I feel like that's not PC.
Yeah, well.
I mean, be sensitive, Kaya.
All I know is it's something dark emanating in there. I couldn't even see into the church. I'm not very versed in the depths of the dragon, but it definitely looks like we're not the first group here. Nalbrand has definitely had some scouts come through this area.
Are you sure?
There's a soldier's helmet. I mean, it's
am-
possible that the dragon may have attacked Nalbrin, but
I haven't heard anything about that. I'm not sure I want to venture forth into something that could get us killed before we even get close to our goal.
I'd prefer not to venture forth into anything that could get us killed in general.
Yes.
I mean, not to
Maybe
play
we,
devil's advocate here, but don't dragons protect things?
Yeah, their own interests usually, if what I hear is true.
Well, I mean, just look at Elton.
Well, and if we're going to be out here, do we want the dragon fighting us from above when it's ready and has seen us from afar? Or do we want to fight it when it's encapsulated into a small building? Is there a way that we could get rid of it easier here?
Do you know of a way of easily getting rid of a dragon that we don't know about?
Get rid of it easier than fighting it from the ground while it's above us.
Well, not to burst anyone's bubble here, but these buildings aren't exactly, and I point at all the rubble and broken stuff, they're not exactly holding up well.
He would know.
As we're talking, I just want to keep kind of peeking back at the church just to make sure nothing's changed from what I've seen.
Okay. Make another perception check.
Much better. 22.
22. Nothing really that seems to have changed, though there is a moment that you're kind of looking, and the sun kind of breaks free of the clouds, and you see just a flash of deep purple eyes from like the back of the church. Even from here, you can just spot, and they are absolutely just watching you. It's gone as quickly as you see it. Just you make eye contact with it.
I think it might know we're here.
Yeah, I don't really think this is our MO, right?
Let's.
Not really
We try to
here
sneak
to
out.
fight a dragon.
I mean, if he knows we're here, that's his call at this point.
Let's.
I vote we leave.
Yes.
Quickly or as stealthily as possible?
As non-threateningly as possible.
Getting flashbacks of the mini army.
Back into the bushes.
It's just
I will
Okay.
take up the rear and ask somebody else to lead us out and keep an eye backwards since I have range.
okay. Backtracking, because it is in ill repair. It is a road. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
I'm assuming that D4 is gone by now, right? I don't know how long it lasts.
1 minute.
It's been
Okay.
It's gone by now.
23.
Okay. Keeping an eye on the door. You don't see anything. It seems to not be pursuing you. You all proceed. Again, a few miles. Are you following the road, or are you kind of trying to cut directly west to meet back up with the river at your earliest, like as fast as you can, to lose less time? You're kind of traveling. If the river was going straight north, you were kind of going this way.
Oh, so there'd be a lot of south backtracking if we followed the road
Yeah,
back.
you'd be backtracking south if you follow the road, but it'd be easier.
Let's just cut
Just
back in.
Pythagorean this bitch straight across.
Yeah.
Okay. real quick survival check. Nothing too crazy. It's just a straight line, just so you don't get too lost.
21.
Oh, you don't get to make the survival check. You're not leading.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I just assume every time.
I can do the survival check. That's a 17.
17. Okay. Easy enough. There are a couple natural hazards. Like there's a quicksand pocket, or a little sinkhole, not quicksand, that you manage to skirt around until you kind of hear the rushing water. Raven, go ahead and give me a just intelligence check.
Intelligence check. My specialty. That would be a 7, buddy.
Okay. By the time you make it back to the river, it is getting towards evening. It was a couple hours detour that y'all took. Resuming your path north, you probably have another hour and a half or so of actual light before it would probably be too dark to travel any further.
As much as I feel we should be getting on our way, would it behoove us to find some way to hide ourselves for the evening? Maybe make some kind of a camouflage? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good
Not
idea.
very versed in that.
Definitely no
Especially-
fire.
Yeah, I'm good at hiding myself, but just kind of look around. What is the terrain that is it more grassland here where we're at, or?
It is grassland for sure now. as
Okay.
You are traveling along the riverbank.
Okay. And we don't see any like humps of or like piles of grass or
There-
anything, or
There's some small hills. There's one hill that kind of comes up to the river and has a steep kind of what is it, escarpment, and whatever that is. Kind of a naturally formed cave right next to the water. You'd be able to camp in if you'd like, nestled in between a couple of the smaller hills as well.
If I wanted to try and make some camouflage, what kind of a check would I need to do for that?
Stealth.
Stealth?
Yep. It's the skill related
Yeah.
to remaining hidden.
Yup. I'm not even gonna try, so. I was hoping
Yeah.
I could do it. Sure. Or survival. Ooh. Okay, it's fine.
Survival. We can do survival.
Survival? Okay.
Yeah, we
me
can
try
do
it.
survival. Building yourself a little duck blind, dragon blind, as it were.
14.
14. Okay.
So my idea is that we cut up pieces of grass sod and lay them over our sleeping bags. So we're sleeping underneath dirt, like grass sod.
So
like
you're hidden
extra
from the air.
insulation too. Yeah.
Okay. All right. In what order are you all taking watch?
I'll go right
start.
before Vala.
I'll take first watch.
Okay, then I'll take third.
Okay, so I got
This guy
second.
for last.
Kaya, you'll be last.
Yeah. Yeah,
I would
sure.
like
Yeah, sure.
each of you roll a d20 for me. This isn't a check or anything. I just need to y'all to roll a d20.
Oh, and
Which
Yeah.
one is it?
just a heads up before, like,
Yeah.
between mine and Vala's, when we do the switch, I'll cast dark vision on her so that she can see in the dark since we're not having a fire.
Thank you.
Okay.
If we get that far.
So no check, just dice roll.
Yep. Just I just need a dice roll.
12.
9.
14.
Well, for me too.
Okay. And then for your watch, Relton, if you would make for me a perception check.
Showa. Is a 19.
19. The first half of your watch goes by without incident. About halfway through your watch, you're looking around, keeping an eye on the sky as well, knowing that there's potentially a dragon hunting. And you're looking and you kind of go, that's a neat constellation. And then you realize that it's moving just in an even glide, something just black against black. It's the absence of stars in a space that you notice. Flies past.
I don't have the hair for it.
Kind of doubles back and goes past you again. 20 minutes or so later, you see just a little bit farther along the river, just this shadow that is cutting back and forth.
And it looks like it's covering a distance, like it's going a clip, right?
Yeah, it's going incredibly fast. Like if you had to guess, it's going between 80 and 160 feet per round, as it were. And it's like you'll see it'll glide, and then as it turns, you can kind of make it out a little bit better now. You see the wings beat, and it will pick up speed as it doubles back, and then slow and glide. The rest of your watch goes by.
I hold my breath for a lot longer than I should until I realize I'm not breathing, and then let it out.
Okay.
That's it.
Your watch ends, and you wake up at Raven.
Hey, we're definitely being watched. He's gliding back and forth. He's about a bitch and a half to see, but he's up there.
Did you notice any patterns?
He came by, swooped by probably 3 times.
Did he always
Haven't
approach
seen
from the
for the last
same
week.
direction?
No, back and forth.
Okay.
Like he's looking.
All right. Get some sleep.
I'll try.
I'll just wiggle the tablet at you. Do you need help?
I got it.
Okay. Raven, perception check.
14.
Your watch goes by. You don't see the shadow in the sky. There's a moment that you start and kind of think you heard something from the water and realize that it was probably a fish jumping or something like that. Just a very tense couple hours of not seeing anything. You wake up Vala and then cast dark vision on her, like you said, I'm guessing.
Hey, I think you'll need this. Aurelton mentioned the dragon's been swirling around. Passed by a few hours ago. I haven't seen anything, but stay safe.
Thank you. And before Raven goes to walk away, Vala will grab his hand and squeeze it in a "you're my favorite" kind of a way. I don't know what that. She's flirting.
He'll lightly squeeze back.
Paula, make a perception check for me. 19 is your floor, where that's your passive perception.
So I rolled a 10 with a +8, so 18.
So 19.
19.
Your,
Okay.
your floor for watch is 19. You see the shadow as well. This time, a wide circle. You can't tell if you're the center of the circle, and it's wide enough that you see it moving, and then it kind of dips out of your sight line, and then about 15 minutes later, just this, again, blackness against the stars. You're seeing just the motion more than anything.
It's definitely like a circle shape, not like a sweeping back and forth, like working
Yeah.
its way down the river.
Yeah, it is now circling at least the area you guys are in.
Okay.
As you turn to wake Kaya for his watch, there is a tremendous figure, 20 feet tall, that is kneeling over Kaya. His shirt is open, and it seems to be carving something into his chest, right where the mark is. He's sleeping soundly. He doesn't seem to move. But you see, and this 20-foot tall, charcoal skinned figure turns a massive horned, like, goat skull face, and it locks eyes with you. The almost deep blue fire that form instead of where its eyes should be meet with you, and you blink and it's gone.
I'm gonna run over to Kaya and does he have anything sitting on his chest right now?
He is cold to the touch. The tattoo that he has is exposed. And you can see the number on it. You can't read it because you have to spend a minute touching him for your helmet to comprehend for you, but you know it's different than the last time you saw it. And it's seeping black that pulls back into it and goes whole. Is like a healed tattoo.
Out of complete and utter panic, I'm gonna cast hold on, where's my Healy guy? Cure Wounds. Just like set my hands on the tattoo and cast Cure Wounds. Not that I doubt it's gonna do anything.
Nothing. Kai, you're woken to this glowing healing energy pouring into you. It doesn't do it. He has no wounds, nothing to heal. But Vala is
Vala's
standing
like,
over here with her hands on your chest.
Can I help you?
There was a goat man tattooing you, carving into you.
You fell asleep on watch, didn't you?
No, I did not. Look,
Are you sure?
your tattoo is different.
I mean, it's still there. Looks the same to me.
You can't tell the difference? The wording has changed.
Sorry, there's some stuff going on in my background right now that you guys can't hear, and I was trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay. We need to give you a second.
Focus.
No, we're good. Sorry, what was your last sentence?
The wording has changed. Can't you tell the difference?
I mean, I wouldn't really call that a wording. Like, I mean, maybe that line is slightly different than what it was. I don't know. It's dark. I'm tired.
Have you seen this goat man? It was a
Goat man.
he was 20 feet tall and had the face of a goat and glowing blue eyes. Piercing.
You saw something like that?
Yes.
I might have had a dream once. Something similar.
Don't know if that was a dream.
The fact that you're kind of identifying what I saw in my dream, word for word. Are you sure you weren't sleeping? Maybe we have like connected telepathy
I'm 100%
stuff.
certain I wasn't sleeping.
Maybe I was just projecting my thoughts, and in my hand, I do minor illusion and just change a few shapes. And then
Can you make the shape of a 20-foot man with a goat face?
I make as big as I can the goat face that I saw in my dream.
This is with minor illusion.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's not very big, but
Yeah, it's probably about the third of the size of the actual head.
That is the face I saw. Yeah, right? Right? That's the face I saw?
Mm-hmm. It's the
what I
exact
got.
same thing.
Only larger.
cool. What well, I guess what number do I have now?
Give me a moment. I'll take a minute to read it and try and figure it out.
Yeah.
As we're totally not paying attention to the sky. It's fine.
I don't know shit about
Meta. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Breaking the fourth wall. Or
13.
13.
Okay. That's
A lot lower.
great. Can't wait to see what happens when this countdown gets to 1.
I think that would put us around the pass if we take day by day. Sounds like perfect timing.
Who knows
Don't-
how
we
long
have to
this will.
We have to figure out what this is.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's how are we going to do that?
I don't know.
Exactly. Just keep moving on like nothing's happening. That's what I've always done.
Do we tell everyone else?
You want to? To me, they're just dreams.
I think that we should let everybody know. So they know what might happen.
But we don't know.
Something might happen.
There's. If you want, I don't want everybody worrying about me.
Would you have wanted to know that I had people looking for me that could have ambushed us before my sister came at us?
Did I tell you?
It's fair. I would have rather not have been surprised, or at least been wary of something occurring.
What did you tell us?
I should have.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Well, now we can. I think it's something we need to discuss in the morning. But for now, it's your watch.
All right.
We've been seeing a figure we believe is a dragon in the sky circling around, so keep your eye out for that.
Oh, great.
The loop's been taking about 15 minutes, so if it takes any shorter than that, I think you need to wake us.
Great.
And I'm gonna try and sit with Kaya for the first little bit to see if we can see it, so I can point it out to him.
Okay. Yeah, can I make a perception check with advantage?
14
14.
With advantage?
plus 0.
You need some better dice.
What do you mean? 14's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's
Fine,
not
man.
as
If
high
I-
as I want it to be.
If I had any pluses with it, it would be really good.
It takes a little while, but you do actually eventually make out the shadow. It helps that it's so much closer.
Oh, great. It helps that it's so much closer.
How much closer?
Where for you it had been like it would go out of sight, and then like 15 minutes later, this huge wide circle. It probably takes only like 5 minutes.
Are we the center now? Can we tell? Can they tell?
Yeah.
And now at the 14.
But I'm looking too.
Are you staying up and forgoing a long rest to?
No. I just pointed out the one time. So I guess I'm going to sleep.
He like Kaya catches on and is like, okay, and you're like, all right, I leave you be.
So, just to add a little bit of flair in this, where I'm feeling a little chilled and we can't have a fire, with thaumaturgy, I just create just a very, very light crackling sound of a fire, and I put my hands forward as if it's going to help while I'm looking.
It is comforting. Like there's not any actual heat, but just kind of the motion. Like it's like that guru trick of mind over matter, where you feel a little bit warmer. The rain's still coming down. Like you all have your cloaks pulled up around and over you. You've made a bit of a shelter. Whoever's on watch having to be outside of that shelter, it's definitely the worst part of it. It's just that cold fall drizzle. Lucky you've got a couple months before, supposedly, assuming weather's the same here, snow sets in. Your watch goes by without further event. About halfway through, you stop seeing the circling shadow.
I'm not sure which is more scary. Being able to see it or not being able to see it.
The sun begins to rise. You all awake.
Just kind of sit up and look at Kaya.
I'm still doing the whole fire thing, warming my hands, putting them out. You hear a fire, but you don't see it.
Immediately,
She's
like
awake.
as you guys wake up and start kind of cleaning up your small camp, we'll say Raven, you probably do a little bit of foraging to make like a light natural breakfast. You catch a fish or two.
Yeah, being
Um,
still cautious of the sky as I was the
yeah,
night before.
but as you are moving around, you get probably in your little foraging, maybe 100 or so feet away from your camp, and you see a track of gouges in the mud, and then some things that are rolled over as if they were pushed by a large creature, like sniffing. Pretty immediately, you think that it would have found you last night had you not taken the precautions of creating a shelter, not having fire. It came close.
Okay.
I want you to make another intelligence, either nature or history check.
I'll do nature.
Nature? Okay. With advantage, because it's regarding dragons, right?
Yeah, if it's having to do with tracking, yeah.
Yeah, it's not tracking. This is more knowledge. So, what did you get?
I got a 13.
13. Thinking about it, dragons can go a while without eating, but they're also fairly spiteful, and this one has seen you. With how close it came, you think that it was tracking you through the day. It's clearly some sort of nocturnal hunter, and you think that it may have gotten your scent. That's kind of looking back at where the sniffing was. It was kind of like it was where you guys had stopped and started looking for a camping site. There's a chance, not guaranteed. It may have given up after one night. It may not, but this thing may continue to hunt you as long as you remain within its territory.
Okay. So yeah, I guess I'll gather fish and water and whatever rations we need and head back to camp.
Dragons are
So
not considered animals, right?
Mm-mm.
For the clarification.
so that got a lot closer than I thought they did. How close did you guys see it?
Circling about every 15 minutes when I was up.
About every 5.
5?
It
I told you to
was,
wake us.
I mean, it was pretty high up there. It wasn't an immediate threat.
Do you have any idea how fast they are?
Yeah, I watched it for at least a little while.
Well, it was about 100 feet south of us, I'll say.
Yeah.
Scratching at the ground last night.
That's not. Is that too close?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry. Next time I'll wake you up.
And I think we're gonna have it next time. Dragons don't give up very easily. And I think it's got our scent now.
This is a problem we turn around and deal with, or try and outrun?
I mean, I think the further out we go, the better chance we have of it giving up. But we should be ready.
Do you think we could, I don't know, wash our things in the river and help clean up our scent? Remove some of this odor?
Would I know that that would potentially help?
Would a bath help?
It might. You think that because it was so close and still wasn't able to find you after getting your scent, you think the rain might be doing a good enough job of masking you. That's it was the gouge and stuff definitely would have been that of like a frustrated, like, I know they're close. That's, you think you're, as long as you keep moving, you're probably okay.
Gotcha.
That's it.
And-
The farther you get, the less likely it is that it's gonna. What were you saying?
The river that we're following, is this like Mississippi style river, or is this like deep stream?
It has gotten, so it is a large river and it is moving quickly. That's as you get closer, like farther north, it widened a bit and now
Okay.
has pretty steep, like you're able to camp on the river bank, like underneath an outcropping. Is a deep river. You'd have to find a specific point to like try to ford it without just making checks and stuff.
I
It's
was thinking
become-
we could wade upriver for a while, but I think that would wind up with us wading downriver.
Yeah, that
So
current's
maybe that's
pretty
not
quick.
such a good option. Yeah.
I think if we keep moving, we'll be all right. I don't think we need to stop and try to mask our scent anymore, but the rain's doing a pretty good job.
Let's make haste then.
All
Yeah.
right.
Well, let's go.
You set
Oh.
forth again. If I can get a survival check from whoever is leading the party, I would like to make that.
I'd assume I'd go back to leading now that we're away from the
That's my
dragon.
assumption.
I'll follow behind and keep a lookout behind us.
12. Sorry, not 12. 22.
Okay, 22. Easy enough. Following the river. There's a couple obstacles you have to kind of dip to the side where the embankment comes right to the river, comes about 10 feet up, and you either have to try to swim or just climb up and go around. Lead the party without too much trouble through the rest of the day. Your next night, are you resting in the same order or watching in the same order?
We should also shelter up and make sure we're camouflaged.
Yeah, that's. I'll
We're
take
doing this
another
again.
survival check from whoever's putting together the camping shelter.
I guess I can do that.
And can I assist and give you advantage?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is a 24.
24. Okay. Okay.
We make a good camp team.
Yeah, you actually you find like a small cave inside of it as the embankments kind of grow a little bit deeper or higher where you're walking on the bottom. You actually find an actual cave. It looks like something that a large animal like a bear had at one point kind of dug out, has been long since abandoned. Orelton, you can't stand up straight in it. You have to hunch. Everybody else is able to actually stand pretty comfortably. It's a large shelter. You pull some reeds and brush kind of from the sides and pile it up around so you have easy access to the water and a way to get in and out to keep watch, but is otherwise sheltered from above and from like directly across the river.
Well, I can't fit in here. I hope he can't either. Before we go to bed, we have this, and I'll pull out our Ion Stone of Sustenance. I have this little trinket here. It's supposed to make it so one of us doesn't have to eat. I figure if we're out here, it'd probably be a handy trick. Any volunteers? If not, I'll take it.
I mean, can we save it until we absolutely need it?
Not like a one-time thing. Circles around your head and you don't get hungry.
Oh, I forgot about that thing. Okay, sorry. That's Rachel forgetting about that thing. Not
I didn't even
Vala.
remember we had it.
Yeah.
I like
You
eating.
probably eat the most out of all of us, so.
Yeah, I figured Bauer probably wanted to be able to taste whatever he had brewed, so figured I'd ask.
Go for it.
Cool. So I'll spend, since I imagine I'm doing watch again first, I will spend hour of my watch attuning to that as well.
Okay. Yeah, you do that, and as you just focus on it for half an hour or so, and then toss it up, and it goes into orbit and just circles slowly around your head.
That's going to be a little distracting for a while.
You finish. Make a perception check.
Ooh, not so good. 9.
9. Actually, 'cause I rolled.
The orb keeps distracting you.
You finish attuning to the orb, and you look up, and you see just from the brush on the opposite embankment of the river, this large boulder. Yeah, odd. That wasn't there. And just 2 deep purple eyes set into a black scaled face kind of peering down.
They're peering down like over the embankment down on me?
Like on the opposite side of
Oh.
the river, so probably a good 50 or so feet away.
And it's peering, looking down, not looking directly at us.
Yeah, it's looking along the riverbank.
I try my absolute damnedest to make my scales look blacker.
That little bit of motion, just that tense shift, the eyes snap up and meet yours.
I will hold absolutely still until he makes a move.
It slowly steps down, knowing that you can see it. It kind of unfurls and stretches and just takes a step off of the bank. And it's still on the other side, but it climbs down from the embankment and sits. This giant tail, you see, flicks a little bit, kind of like a cat. And that tail's just
Like he's fucking with us.
is just watching you.
This is the first time we've seen him. How big is he?
He is not gigantic. He's large. So he is, for a dragon, that still means he's at the shoulder, still like twice your size, as it like kind of sits and flexes. It has like a 30-foot wingspan. Stretches, and the tail is just flicking back and forth, and it's just watching you.
I will very slowly reach back into my side pouch and hold a scroll that we've had for a while, a scroll of daylight, so that if he makes any quick moves, I'm going to try and blind him with it.
Blind us.
Okay.
And if he's not going to make any moves, I'm going to slowly sidestep towards the entrance of the cave.
It just watches you.
Get into the cave, or
Hey. Hello.
Do I
See if
hear
can,
that?
like, throw
Yes,
a
do any
rock
of us.
back into the cave.
I assume with a passive perception of 23 and the fact that I'm a princess, I'm pretty light sleeper.
Yeah, that's
She's sleeping on a
you.
lot of peas.
You wake up. I imagine all three of you, or like the three of you, are actually pretty light sleepers at this point. Like, with how tense everything has been, like,
Okay.
Orelton calling into the cave, you all snap right away. Kai a little bit slower.
We have a friend. Move slowly. Get ready.
I can hide us.
You could also send a couple arrows out here real quick.
Are you ready to do
Yes.
this?
No, but what choice do we have?
It stands and kind of walks a little ways up the river. It takes its eyes off of you and looks into the stream, folding its wings back against itself, and it slips into the water.
Swimming
I-
upstream or downstream?
It went upstream from you, and has now like slips into the deep water, and then fully submerges itself, disappearing from sight for a moment.
Okay, and how far up did he go?
Yeah, he probably walked a good 20 or so feet.
So, not terrifically far. Okay, up and out, up and out, up and out.
I
Let's go.
immediately get up and knock my arrow.
And
Okay.
I guess we'll head downstream.
Okay.
Looking upstream.
And getting off of the bank, I would
Yeah.
say.
I'm casting bless on everybody but me.
Okay. You all wake up, and then you all start heading downstream.
Yeah.
Yes, but looking upstream.
Okay. I'd like anybody that would like to can make a perception check. Your passive is not going to cut it for this, Vala.
All right. 27.
22.
Suck it.
Well, I won't even
Sorry.
roll.
I'm sorry. Suck it, because Vala doesn't see anything in the water.
Wow.
It's too
And
dark.
Bless
It's
doesn't
too murky.
Bless doesn't help us, right? I mean, not that it would put me above her
You
or
don't
anything,
have
but
dark
No,
vision.
Bless does help you, and I think, Vala, you
Yeah.
specifically did it to everybody but you, right?
Yeah, so it's a 1d4 added to the number rolled to your attack roll or saving throws. So
Oh,
it's
this
not
isn't a saving throw,
for, this
so I
isn't
got
the
a
check
22.
one.
Yeah,
But I
Vala's
figured-
27. I will let you know. Yeah, actually, I'm not going to let you know what it got. You don't see it.
Why do I have to be so blind?
So Relton got a 12, obviously not seeing it. And he will panic and cast the daylight anyway. But I'm going to cast it on the end of Truth and Lies, so I can hold it up like a lantern.
Okay. So hold it. Light fills the area. The water is still kind of brown and murky. Especially, it seems as though something has recently stirred up a bunch of sediment.
Wonder why.
There's nothing.
Back away.
So it looks like something has started up going south, going downriver, right?
You don't know. That's it. Like, just the
Just
water has been like
murky.
churned up.
Okay.
Yeah, I got nothing here. I'm gonna just kind of tilt my head to start moving further away from the river.
Yeah, I'll back up with Raven.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Gonna follow.
Just move. Daylight up, filling the area. Keeping an eye.
And I would
Don't
say,
see
as
anything.
if we get about 50 feet from the river,
Mhm.
I advise that we start moving back north, upstream.
Further
Okay.
away from its home.
You all continue moving. That's. Are you going to attempt to make camp somewhere else this night?
Sounds like beating feet is the good option.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to
Let's go.
push through the evening.
Okay.
And also
I'm
at
gonna-
let's say 150 feet, as soon as we decide to disengage and turn and book, I won't quell daylight on Truce and Lies, but I'm going to put it in the bag of holding so that we don't have any ambient light.
Okay.
And run away in the darkness.
And I will cast Dark Vision on Vala as well, in case we get into that.
Okay. I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw as you push through the night.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
I am exhausted.
You have one level of exhaustion. What did you get? Because the DC
A
is
natural
not
one.
high yet. Okay, yeah. You have 2 levels of exhaustion. With a natural 1, that's 2.
That
Is
was
it? Okay.
real tired.
It comes out to a 2, but I
Because,
don't know if that matters.
And
So-
the only reason for you, because normally you can't critically fail like checks, like skills can bring you up. You have a breathing problem, right?
Yeah. Where is exhausted?
Under conditions in the upper right.
15.
Oh, there it is. It's not a button.
So you get an extra level of one of the side effects of your damage lung is when you take a natural 1 to get a level of exhaustion is you will take an extra level of exhaustion.
Okay, and my speed is halved at this point.
Dirty 20 for me.
Okay. Kat
15.
and Paula.
Same. 15.
Okay. That's you guys can tell after, pushing through the night. Raven, who is still kind of trying to lead, you're all kind of having to slow down to support him as he goes. You can tell that wound is getting to him. You can hear like that ragged, tearing breathing. He's coughing. But you push through till morning. The sun rises.
All right, let's keep going.
We'll stop and eat. I mean, y'all, obviously.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to find anything today.
We got some rations that we're saving, right?
Yeah.
Can I borrow one?
Yeah, and I'll give everybody a ration. I don't know how many we grabbed, but I had 12 originally, so.
I still only have a flute, water skin, disguise kit.
So I give Vala, Kaya, and myself a ration.
I'm gonna hurry, eat my food, and speaking of flute, I'm just gonna pull it out and give it a little jingle. Give it a good jingle. 24.
Okay. It's improvised. You don't know any songs on the flute, but that's Kaya starts busting out like a little beatbox pan flute, like solo. It is enough to perk you guys up a little bit. Doesn't remove any exhaustion. Sorry. But yeah, it's
Just to lighten the mood a little bit.
solid. Yeah, and again, this is a fantasy world. Beatboxing has not been invented until this point.
Just in the
Hi, is that really? No, that's good. Yeah, okay.
I needed that. Thank you.
Feel that. You know, it shakes your soul.
Yeah, it's
he's
like
got the flute on one side while he's keeping the beat on this side, and
it's like a one-man band just from the mouth. All right, if y'all are done stuffing your faces, let's get the hell away from this thing.
Okay. Proceeding into the day, whoever's leading can make a survival check.
Raven, you still
no,
got it?
I'm not at it right now, man. I need help.
I get it. I'll actually take the lead, and before I do, I will close my eyes in a quick prayer to list and harness the ways of navigating the land.
Okay. Perfect. And that.
So it's a natural 20 for a 34.
Goddamn.
All right. You start moving, and this is like filling your vision, and the five of you are just careening through. No, there's five, because leading Will is a young woman clad in black that just, as he goes and recognizes things, it's somebody just leading him on the direct best path. List is directly guiding you. And there's a couple times that she takes odd routes and crisscrosses. You guys make up a significant amount of time. At a certain point, Vala, you with your perception specifically, see a ways back the dragon kind of pursuing slowly. And it kind of just starts falling behind a little bit, like the odd circuitous path you guys are taking. And at about halfway through the day, you see it peters off and flies back in the direction it came. It just couldn't. The path that List guided you on, Will, not only did not lose you any time on your journey, it also like confounded the dragon. So a 34 gets you some shit. Like that's
Yeah.
Question.
Nice.
Can dragons read?
Oh yeah, dragons can talk. Like
They
Yeah, I knew they could
dragons
talk.
can read.
I know
Yeah,
they
they're
could
super
talk because I
intelligent.
speak Draconic, but like
Yeah, that.
wasn't sure if they could read. So
Yeah, I mean,
well,
they're
they can speak
significantly
common
more
as well.
intelligent than average. Yeah, they can just speak. It's common a lot of the time. I think Raven's the only one that might have known that specifically. But yeah.
I feel like if I speak Draconic, I would probably know if a dragon. Like,
Oh,
why would I
yeah,
know
no,
Draconic if I didn't know anything about
Well,
dragons?
there's a written language, but there are other draconic related races
yeah, I guess
that
that's
read
true.
and
'cause
write,
there's-
and then
Okay.
Yeah, that's dragons can read and write. If you paid attention in your arcane history classes, you would have taken back in Albrun. There's a lot of arcane magic that is directly related to like descendant from dragons and their original writings and the recording of primordial. Yeah. Quick note.
Just for my own knowledge, does Raven know Vala can speak Draconic?
I mean, I have
come
I don't
up.
know if it's brought up.
No, and I
Okay.
have the comprehend languages helm, so
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm actually, again, a 34 blows me away. Whenever a number above 30 comes up, I'm gonna. You guys make it through the rest of day 6, and we're gonna actually. I'm gonna remove a day from the. You were able to lose the dragon, and we're gonna cut off just one day of your journey.
yeah.
Wait.
There's the 2 weeks was accounting for just following the river, making it so you couldn't get lost. You were able to kind of cut through to where the river, like there's a large bend in it. You cut straight across through the course of this day.
And that, y'all, is the power of knowing some of the hidden things.
I was a little afraid you'd taken us far off course at first, but gotta hand it to you. That was some good navigating.
Not all me, but we got here.
You settle in for the night and make camp. Beyond just your normal watch order and everything like that, is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about? Or
I actually, if you guys are okay with it, I'm not really tired. I think I could take first watch.
Sure. Was it apparent that the dragon isn't following us anymore to all of us, or just to Vala?
it would have
yeah,
been
'cause
just Deval at that point, but you probably
I
would have
shared.
pointed it out, and it was like very clearly to you got bored, like it started losing you guys, and just had already put enough effort into hunting you guys, and was like, I've got their track. This is just gonna be a matter of hunting them down, and then you managed to lose it. It's like, yeah, fuck this.
Yeah, if we're not being pursued anymore, have at.
You guys mind if I go last?
Why don't you just not at all? You were
I
breathing
can,
so loud running through the night that I don't know if I'm going to get any sleep now.
I
We'll
can,
just stick around for a few extra hours. I think that'll be fine.
Yeah.
I can pull my weight.
Yeah, you can pull your weight by sleeping and recovering.
I do. Sorry, really quick, because you guys did run all through the night and then travel all day. I just need one round of Constitution saving throws from everybody again.
Donkey.
Constitution.
Ooh, that's not so good.
Roll the dice.
13.
11.
17.
23.
Raven and Arelton both fail. The DC goes up for every 8 hours of travel you go without taking a break. So, is one round.
Yep.
Yeah, which you will be taking a long rest. So if nothing happens over the course of your rest, it'll go. That last one will go away.
But just the one, right?
Yeah, just one
Wolf.
per long rest that you get.
Oh.
But you did regain an hour, so if you wanted to take another full day to rest, make a longer duration camp, you wouldn't actually lose time on your overall trip with the amount of time you gained. Something to think about. Kai, you're taking the first watch?
Yep.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Is that a 9 or a 6? That's a 9.
9? Okay. Your watch goes by without incident.
So, just after everyone goes to sleep, he's going to take a second, kind of step away softly. He's going to be like, sit there and kind of look at his hands, and as hell, I've seen Vala and O'Relton try this. And he starts to do a kind of a prayer-esque type thing. And he's just going to be like, so Hello? Anyone?
What is your intent? Who are you praying to? Anybody in particular?
Nope. Just out there.
Blasting it to the ether.
He's more talking to himself.
Okay.
And he's just kind of, hello? Then he sits there for a little bit and he goes, so you're more than just a dream, huh? Sits there for a few more moments. Kind of touches the tattoo and goes back.
When you touch the tattoo, it feels cool. Not as cold as like when you wake with a burning pain, but it's cool to the touch. Almost in response.
Gives him a chill and just kind of walks back to camp.
I should have done this the night before. I guess 2 nights ago. But Vala, can you make a religion check for me?
Sure. Let's see. 16.
16. Something about what you saw over Kai, it seems familiar. Like it's something you feel like you'd read about at some point. Like it's familiar. It's related to a god somehow, but you're not sure. There's something there, and it's something that's been kind of keeping you up in your thoughts. Just you saw a giant demon looking thing standing over one of your comrades. It's just been nagging at you.
None of this has been mentioned to anybody, to me or Raven,
No,
right?
We
Nope.
haven't yet, no.
The dragon kind of distracted that conversation, so
So did.
I'm okay with
So-
that.
Who is on second watch?
I'll go next. I mean, we're just gonna keep the same rotation except for Bauer.
And we're keeping Raven down.
Right.
Yeah. Perception
Put my
check.
foot on his
So
chest.
to wake him up, I do thaumaturgy, but it's right next to his ear, and it's a loud scream for him, but it's still quiet.
It's just very.
So
Or else you
someone's, like,
snap awake to the
Slap
sound
of
of.
his ear. Too into it there.
Okay, Orelton slaps at your hand, and Orelton is a giant, hard-skinned, like brute of a man. So when he like slaps your hand, it hurts. Like it almost pulls you to a knee. This is just your comparative strength
He just-
differences.
He immediately
I ro-
like, time to get up.
Why are you screaming in my ear?
I figured you wanted to be awake.
Oh, success. That's gonna come back to you in a good way, Bauer.
Yeah, wouldn't
Relton just goes to watch like wide-eyed. He's like still bloodshot from being woken up immediately.
Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
19 and 4 for 23.
All right. Just do a quick one of these. Your watch goes by without event. You stand pretty vigilant. That's like normally there's like fiddling around and stuff in your watch, but like that just heart-rending like palpitation, just shock being woken up keeps you ultra vigilant. You stand on guard, ready to go. Who goes next? That's Raven.
Vala.
No, it's Vala.
Vala, because Raven's
I
not
will wake-
taking but
And I will wake her up very gingerly, just to pass the the goodwill forward. Vala.
Yes. And she wakes up like very easily, is alert immediately.
Your turn. I'm going to bed.
Thank you. Sleep well. Okay. Get up and watch.
Perception check for Vala.
Which is that's a nat 1 for a 9.
Still a 9.
Still a nat 1.
Yeah. Yeah, your watch goes by without event as well. Yeah. A few hours of your watch go by when you all awake. The rain has finally stopped the last few days. And you are about halfway along your journey. It's made good time. I think we will pick up the back half of this expedition along the river next week on Easy Dispell.
Woo!
Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us. Again, follow at 100 between YouTube and Twitch. So 50 people just following and subscribing on both Twitch and YouTube. I get a script. 100 people on one or the other, we get a script. As we get there, it'll really clean up the process. We had a nice clean run today. I don't think I vamped too much right at the beginning.
I thought it was good.
We're on a little bit of a time crunch. That's Mike has real human things to do. So stop pretending to be an elf for a little bit.
Sorry.
But yeah, we'll be back next Sunday, 6 o'clock Central, 6:30 Central.
6 p.m.
Or 6 p.m. Central.
Yeah.
6:30. But yeah, everybody have a great week. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time on Easy Dispell.
Bye.